What's up, y'all? Today's video is gonna be simple. What's the difference between losing weight and losing fat? If y'all don't know, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna show you what's the difference, and I'm gonna tell you how you can use either one depending on what you want to make a difference on your body. Let's do this. Alright, y'all heard the intro. What's up, y'all? It's your favorite YouTuber in the world, representing Destination Chaos Lyrics. Alright, guys, you heard the intro. I'm gonna explain what the difference between losing weight and losing fat, and how can you use either technique to get what you want. So let's start about the losing weight. When you talk about losing weight, you're talking about just overall size. You're talking about overall, whether it be muscle, it doesn't matter. Let's think about an MMA fighter. Let's think about a boxer. They want to lose weight. When they want to come down to a weight and they got 10 pounds to lose, would they prefer? Well, they're already lean to begin with. You know, boxers, fighters. Let's just call them fighters. Fighters are normally just pretty lean for the most part. So when they want to come down to a different level, when they want to come down 20 pounds to fight, they really don't care what they're losing. They really don't care if they're losing muscle. Preferably, you would want to lose just fat. But when you have a really low body fat already, you're gonna lose some muscle. When you're a boxer, you don't care what you lose. You're just working out to lose weight, whether it be muscle, whether it be fat, it doesn't matter, or whether it be water, they don't care. As long as the numbers are going down and they get to weigh in at a certain level, they don't care what it is, because they figure they just can rebound, you know, by drinking a lot of water and eating, they can rebound it. So their thing is they just want to lose overall weight, and the approach to that is a lot different than losing fat. The approach to that is, you know, you're working out and you're doing a lot of cardio on an empty stomach because you don't really care. You're going hungry quite a bit. You're working out on an empty stomach for, you know, quite a bit. There's no strategic meal planning. There's none of that. It's like straight up. We're gonna get off as much muscle, as much weight as possible. They don't care if it's water. Matter of fact, they want it to be water. They want to be as dry as they can be. And what I mean by dry, they want to be as no water retention whatsoever. I mean, they want to be dry when they step on that scale. And if it so happens to have muscle eat itself, if it so happens to be a lot more muscle and fat than anything else, and so be it. That's why boxing is so dangerous, because you got guys that are coming down from a certain weight, 20, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, and they're coming down 40, 50 pounds, about 40 pounds. And a lot of that is just water. Because the body is just not really gonna lose fat only when you're starving it and when you're actually working out with no food in it. And you know, and then when you're done working out, now that part you have to eat small meals. You have to eat really small calorie meals, because you know you don't want to gain that back. So when a boxer eats, he eats very small meals, and they're very light. They're not nutritious, and they're not full in calories. So you know, they're going against nature. They're wanting their body to just dive down and lose some of that weight. They don't care what it is, and that's why it's so dangerous, because these guys lose a lot of water, and come fight night, their brains, everything, you know, because the body's got a big percentage of water. I think it's like 75 or 80%, something like that. And when you get that water's there for a reason. We're made out of water for a reason. This is how we function. Now, some of these boxers, these MMA fighters, they go through kidney failures. They go through all kinds of stuff just to get that body weight down. And then on top of that, you're gonna get hit in the head with your body not functioning correctly. Some of these guys, they get sick. Some of these guys can't even fight after they weigh in, because they put their body through torture, and that's what it is. You're putting your body through torture at any cost necessary just to get in the ring and perform. Now, once you get that first fight of getting the weight down, now you got to get in the ring and fight someone else. That's a whole different other situation. That's weight loss, overall weight loss. Now, let's think about the other side, fat loss. Now, when you're fat loss, that's what I'm trying to do. When you're a fat dude and you got some muscle, like I got some muscle, Don't let me show you. See those marks right there? That's from doing legs, and that's from doing the sled. You know how you lay down and you lay down on that machine, the sled, the hack squat as they call it. That's what that's from, man. That's what those lines are from. You know, when someone has those lines, you know they work out. On legs, man. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Fat loss is what I'm trying to do. Now, when you're doing fat loss, you're having strategic meals, meaning you're spreading them out nice every 3-4 hours, every 3 hours, 2, 3, 4 hours, right around there. You're stretching them out and you're having small meals. I sometimes work out on an empty stomach, but as soon as I'm done working out, I eat a nice big post-meal workout, which I did today. I did row backs, the gorilla, large gorilla, and row backs. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it. Anyway, guys, back to fat loss. I want to lose fat and I want to keep as much muscle as possible. Now you think about this, you're talking about a bodybuilder. Now when a bodybuilder, he works out all off season, he wants to put on as much muscle as possible. During competition, he wants to come down slowly, opposed to the boxer wants to come down in 3 months. He wants to come down in 3 months. He wants to lose 40 pounds in 3 months. A bodybuilder wants to go down slowly because it's a very strategic descent. It's a very strategic descent because the body's not made to lose 30, 40 pounds in a couple of months of fat only. Now, you can trick it into losing some fat like this, but after a while, the body's gonna be like, hey, I'm losing too much fat. Let me figure this out. And then, other things will happen. You gotta trick the body. So when you're talking about fat loss, you're talking about just making sure you're never too hungry. If you get hungry, you eat a little bit. You eat little snacks and you eat little meals because you don't want the body to get completely full. You want the body to slowly. You want a small deficit. When you're putting on muscle, you want a surplus of calories, right? But when you're trying to go down slow, you're just cutting back the calories. So you're going into a small calorie deficit. It's a small calorie deficit. You're talking about 500, 600, 700, 800 calories a day, and then overall it turns into a big deficit, right? But you want a slow descent, kind of like an airplane. You want a slow descent because you want to keep as much muscle as possible. At the same time, you want to lose just a little bit of fat, and then somehow you want the fat and you want the muscle to meet somewhere in the middle. So you're coming down with the fat and you're coming up with the muscle, and at some point you want to meet. And then you want to, obviously move on from there and change your approach. But that's what a bodybuilder does, man. He takes a while to get down to that 3% or 4%, whatever it is, body fat. It takes him a long time. It doesn't take a couple of months. It takes him a long time simply because he doesn't want to lose any of those gains. He doesn't want to lose any of that muscle gains. He doesn't want to lose any of those muscle bellies. And that's the difference. I hope I explained myself. And am I forgetting something? Let me see here. So calorie deficit, man, it's a small calorie deficit, and you want to be a little hungry, but you don't want to be starving, because that's when the body says, I'm starving. Let me figure this out. Let me see where I can grab this energy, because the body, the first thing it wants to do is feed off whatever's in the stomach. That's the first thing it wants to do. The second thing it'll do, it'll eat off the fat reserves. The third and last and final option is to eat the muscle, and the only way it'll do that is if it's starving. Like if the body just doesn't know when you're gonna eat again, it'll start eating off the fat, off the muscle. And that's why when you see those muscles that are like completely, like you can just like grab somebody and grab all the way to the bone, that's what that is. It's just a lot of muscle that has no nutrition in it. So it's really soggy, saggy. You see those arms, right? Where you can almost touch the bone. You can see your fingers all the way to the bone. You can touch the bone because the muscles are real squishy, real nasty. That's because there's no nutrition, and that's because the muscle has eaten itself. It's eaten it's not eating itself, obviously, but it's the body's using the nutrition, the nourishment from the muscle for energy. And that's what exactly you want to avoid. You want to have those, you just say, wave me back, but this keeps waving because it's raw. And sometimes you see people who they almost look like the meat and the skin is just barely hanging onto the bone. It looks crazy, right? Well, that's because there's no nourishment in that muscle, and they've been starving themselves. So when you're starving yourself, that's when old people, they look really bad, right? It's because there's no muscle there. The muscle has gone away, and they're just not eating properly. And obviously they're not working out properly. So how do you take care of that? You just eat properly, you feed the muscle, and you work out. Simple as that, guys. But you want to come down. I want to come down slowly. So far, it's taken me 3 months to get to where I'm at, and I'm still want to go up, but I want to come down in fat. So I got to do little tricks here and there to like in the morning. Sometimes I'll work out on an empty stomach. I don't work out on a full stomach. I used to, but not anymore. I go on an empty stomach, but I'm not starving. I'm satisfied, maybe just a tad hungry, and I go to the gym and I'll kill an hour and a half, 2 hours, and the body has nothing to eat off the stomach, so it'll turn to fat. And the minute it just turns to fat, just a little bit, it starts to get off the fat, boom, and then I give it a post meal. But then by then it's eating just a little fat, and here comes my post workout meal, and boom, here comes my post workout meal to the savior. And guess what? My body responds like, boom, here comes all this nutrition. Let me gobble that up. Never mind the fat. Boom, let me gobble up all that nutrition. Boom. And then it just throws it right into the muscles. And sometimes when know I do legs popping. Look at that. Look at those lines. Sometimes I got lines that look like somebody whooped my ass. Guess what? The hack squat whooped my ass. But guess what? Guess what, man? Look at them traps, mouse chest. I gotta do chest. That's how you know how when I did legs. You know I did legs when I got these things. Whenever you see me walking around, you say, he did legs. He did legs. Mama, Daddy, he did legs. He did legs. Like my shirt? Like my shirt? Dude, he did legs. He did legs. Athletics in the house. Guys, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. If y'all subscribe, thank you very much. If y'all haven't subscribed, he did legs, Mama. Mama, he did legs. If y'all haven't subscribed, I need to subscribe. It's coming in, man. It's coming in. Ooh, look at that little left. Look at that little shadow right there. Look at that little. Look at that little. Ooh, look at that little shadow. I'm Albert Silva representing Destination Kansas. Letterman.